afternoon. My name is Jadine Alders, and I am the Research Coordinator at the McMaster Institute for Research on Aging, or MIRA. Thank you for joining us today. I'd like to begin this webinar by recognizing and acknowledging that McMaster University stands on the traditional territory shared between the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the Anishinaabe Nations. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties, is within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement, and is directly adjacent to Haldimand Treaty territory. The wampum uses the symbolism of a dish to represent the territory and one spoon to represent that the people are to share the resources of the land and only take what they need. We must acknowledge a debt to those who were here before us and recognize our responsibility as guests to respect and honor the intimate relationship Indigenous peoples have to this land. Okay, to give you some background, the McMaster Institute for Research on Aging, or MIRA, was formed in 2016 as the university recognized the great challenges that an aging population will present to humanity and to science. MIRA is an umbrella organization that coordinates initiatives across McMaster's aging platforms and 6 faculties. MIRA encourages collaborative approaches to the research process, supporting interdisciplinary projects and cross-faculty teams working alongside key stakeholders and end users to ignite innovation and create human-centered solutions for the most pressing challenges facing our aging population. Oops. I just want to quickly introduce you to our small team. Parminder Raina is our scientific director, Ina Woban, our managing director. Marla Beauchamp has newly joined us as the associate scientific director of the MIRA Dixon Hall Center. Audrey Patox is our research manager. Casey Urban is our communications coordinator, Amy Ladisser, our communications assistant, Allison Dubé, our project manager, Mason McLeod, our program developer, and none of this could happen without our program coordinator, Allison Outram. McMaster is home to leading researchers addressing aging research questions across the faculties of engineering, social sciences, science, health sciences, humanities, and business. In addition, McMaster is home to aging research platforms such as JERIS, the Gilbrea Center for Studies in Aging in the Faculty of Social Sciences, the McMaster Physical Activity Center of Excellence, also known as PACE, the Canadian Longitudinal Study in Aging, the McMaster Collaborative for Health and Aging, and the McMaster University Optimal Aging Portal. MIRA's goal is to bring together researchers and students from across these platforms and faculties and support interdisciplinary research that leads to impactful solutions to the biggest challenges aging presents. In addition, we support about 170 trainees, including postdoctoral fellows, graduate and undergraduate students through the MIRA Trainee Network. What this means in practice is that our funding opportunities often require collaboration among 2 or more often 3 faculties. Sometimes the application process is iterative, which means we might receive a great proposal that's missing something we might like to see. So we could send it back with a comment such as, would you consider talking to someone with expertise in artificial intelligence, or adding a machine learning component, or looking at social isolation? Can we connect you with a partner in industry or in a community care setting? We think these edits will improve your chances of success in external competitions. It also means that we often facilitate access to stakeholders, including older adults. We have several funding opportunities for 2023 that we'd like to share with you. First, we have the MIRA Undergraduate Summer Research Fellowship, or USRF. Our deadline is April 7th, 2023, and it's open to students in all faculties. MIRA contributes towards the salary for an undergraduate student work or research opportunity for part-time or full-time project over the course of the summer of 2023. The supervisor may support the fellow through in-kind or cash support that will enhance the student's training experience, and students may hold additional funding while holding a MIRA USRF. To be eligible, students must be registered for courses in the fall semester of 2023 at McMaster. External candidates who have a MIRA supervisor may be given consideration. However, McMaster candidates will be given priority. If trainees are submitting proposals to work with researchers who are already funded by MIRA or on projects that are MIRA funded, they just need to explain how their proposed work will complement the existing MIRA funded project. To apply for this opportunity, we encourage you to connect with a McMaster MIRA supervisor to develop a proposal. And if possible, we also encourage you to apply for an NSERC Undergraduate Student Research Award. And these are the deadlines. I think most of them have passed except for the business and social sciences deadlines. The MIRA Graduate Student Professional Development Award application deadline is March 15th, and this provides up to $500 to graduate students to complete an online course at a different institution or to attend a training program or present at an academic conference. We require a one-to-one match of external contribution towards the activity, and these awards are tenable for up to 1 year after the application deadline. The MIRA and Labarge postdoctoral fellowship applications are due on May 17th. We have up to 3 MIRA postdoctoral fellowships in aging research and 1 Labarge postdoctoral fellowship in mobility. So that's $50,000 salary for 2 years, plus a $6,000 allowance for research expenses and professional development. It's expected that the supervisor will provide the funding required to cover the fellow's benefits. So the MIRA postdoctoral fellowships in aging research support interdisciplinary impact-driven approaches to the study of optimal aging. The Labarge postdoctoral fellowship in mobility and aging supports research focused on understanding, maintaining, and restoring mobility in aging. The research projects supported by all these fellowships should aim to develop the capacity of future leaders in aging research and generate evidence that contributes to the well-being of older adults. So the applicant and principal supervisor are expected to involve at least 2 other researchers from 2 different faculties outside the faculty of the principal supervisor as mentors in the development of an interdisciplinary research plan. The proposal should clearly indicate how the supervisor and the 2 mentors will contribute to the development and execution of the interdisciplinary project and how this type of interdisciplinary approach will bring value to the study. We will be evaluating those applications based on alignment with MIRA's mandate, quality, novelty, academic merit of the proposal, incorporation of stakeholders and end users, and the strength and leadership capacity of the candidate. And we will be sharing the evaluation rubric. In addition, MIRA is partnering with AgeWell to co-fund selected McMaster trainees who apply to AgeWell's 2023 trainee funding program, which funds trainees working to create, implement, and evaluate technologies and services that benefit older adults and caregivers. The application deadline is May 12th, 2023, and these are 1-year awards that commence September 1st, 2023, and go through to August 31st, 2024. To apply, candidates must submit applications through the AgeWell portal, which will be administered and adjudicated by AgeWell. All participants will be considered for AgeWell awards. McMaster applicants may indicate their wish to be considered for this enhanced funding through the AgeWell MIRA co-funded awards by ticking the appropriate box in the AgeWell application portal. MIRA will consider co-funding those trainees whose applications are aligned with its mandate, and will give special consideration to applications that address mobility and aging. If you're planning on applying to an AgeWell MIRA co-funded scholarship, Audrey and I are available to look over your application and give you some constructive feedback before you submit it to AgeWell, if you desire that. We're also partnering with AgeWell to co-fund select McMaster trainees who apply to AgeWell's 2023 Early Professionals Inspired Careers in Age Tech, or EPIC AT, Health Research Training Program. These 1-year fellowships are funded at $16,000 and are available to trainees or early career researchers. Participants will be equipped to develop, implement, and evaluate digital technology solutions across such areas as information and communication technologies, telemedicine, artificial intelligence, sensors, smart environments, and wearables for older adults with complex healthcare needs. The deadline for these awards haven't been announced yet. Coming up later in the year, we have the MIRA Graduate Scholarship. The deadline is December 15th, 2023, and is open to students commencing studies at McMaster University. Master's scholarships are open to students beginning a new master's degree in the 2023-2024 academic year. And PhD scholarships are open to students entering years 1 or 2 of their PhD studies in the 2023-24 academic year. And this application requires a MIRA supervisor in addition to a mentor from a faculty outside that of the supervisors. We have 3 streams available for this scholarship. When you complete the application, please indicate which of these streams you wish to be considered for. You can choose more than one if your research is applicable. The MIRA Scholarship in Aging Research supports research on a broader definition of aging topics. So this includes the impact of exercise and physical activity on optimal aging, the impact of psychological, social, and environmental focus on optimal aging, causes and consequences of multimorbidity, frailty, and/or polypharmacy, the role of caregiving, equity, economics, and transportation in optimal aging, the biological mechanisms of aging-related diseases and chronic conditions, approaches to knowledge translation to improve optimal aging, and the use of technology to promote optimal aging and aging in place. The Labarge Mobility Scholarship supports applicants whose research on aging focuses on understanding and defining mobility and aging, maintaining and restoring mobility in aging, and environmental facilitators and barriers that influence mobility and aging. The third stream is the SMAP, or Smart Mobility for the Aging Population MIRA Scholarship, and this supports research in mobile technologies, artificial intelligence, or embedded and sensing devices to address mobility challenges faced by the aging population. If you're not sure which of these streams you should be applying to, please reach out and we'd be happy to arrange a student chat with you. The McMaster Collaborative for Health and Aging Trainee Engagement Fund is geared to graduate students or postdoctoral fellows engaged in aging-focused research and has an application deadline of April 14th, 2023. And this is a great opportunity. It provides funding of up to $1,500 to support trainees to meaningfully and ethically engage older adults and/or caregivers in their research. Just for this one, applicants must contact the collaborative prior to completing the application to discuss the funding opportunity process and confirm eligibility. And you can do this at any time of the year. The collaborative can also provide introductions if you need help connecting with older adults or caregivers. Not exclusively for trainees, the MIRA Catalyst Grant in the Biology of Aging is intended to stimulate new collaborations and allow McMaster researchers to collect preliminary data to support future proposals for larger scale studies investigating the aging-related molecular and cellular mechanisms that are candidate risk factors and drivers of common chronic conditions and diseases associated with aging. The deadline is June 1st, 2023, and this funding opportunity provides up to $40,000. So you can think of this as money for a pilot project. Projects may investigate how the aging process represents a major risk factor for the development of numerous chronic diseases and conditions, or look at the biological pillars that may represent the potential drivers of the aging process. These Catalyst Grant applications must incorporate researchers from at least 3 different McMaster faculties. Canadian Longitudinal Study on Aging is a large national research platform on health and aging, allowing researchers to answer critical questions on the biological, medical, psychological, social, lifestyle, and economic aspects of aging, disability, and disease. CLSA follows over 50,000 men and women who were recruited between the ages of 45 and 85. They'll be in the study for 20 years. Through its large sample, detailed data collection, and longitudinal design, the CLSA enables research on the complex interplay among health determinants. And it provides data to qualified graduate students and postdoctoral and clinical fellows at no cost. Providing free access to this data has 2 objectives. First of all, to build the capacity of trainees to undertake health-related research and to increase awareness of the CLSA's data holdings as trainees pursue careers in the health field. So you may be wondering what we're looking for in a successful application. As you prepare to write your application, there are a few things to take note of. Reviewers will be looking to see if your project addresses a compelling problem in aging and demonstrates potential benefits for older adults. This needs to be central to your project. Does your project have strong potential for scientific impact? Are the selected mentors well suited to the project, and do they have complementary and integrated expertise, and is their leadership approach, governance, and organizational structure appropriate for the project? When looking over the application as a whole, reviewers will be looking to see if the project is novel, innovative, and exciting, whether the research has potential for great impact both within the discipline and in the broader world, whether the background information is clear, concise, and complete, and that the project is clear in presenting the research gap, literature, and methods. When considering the quality of the project design and research methods, ask yourself whether your research question is well-defined and supported by literature. Are your methods valid, thorough, and rigorous? Is your sample size adequate? Did you calculate a power analysis? And if not, have you otherwise justified your sample size? Have you clearly outlined your recruitment methods? Are your analyses well designed and clearly communicated and thorough? And are the statistical tests that you have selected appropriate? Consider the merits of your research findings. Will your expected results inform the literature and satisfy the research question in a novel or innovative way? Have you clearly defined your conclusions, implications, and next steps? Importantly, have you incorporated stakeholder or end user populations? Who is your research going to benefit? Who will be referring to your results? Did you identify appropriate stakeholders or end users? And this could include industry partners, clinicians, policymakers, older adults, caregivers, other academics. Do you have plans to interact with stakeholders or end users to ensure that uptake, knowledge translation, and or implementation are likely and feasible? Have you clearly stated how stakeholders or end users' perspectives will be included in the project? Take the opportunity either in the application or through your reference letters to outline how you are well suited to the project and that you demonstrate a high degree of competence, motivation, or leadership ability. Show your strong research potential and excellent past productivity and point out where you've already completed work in aging research. There's also a section in the application for you to outline equity, diversity, and inclusion considerations. If you are from an equity-seeking population, point this out in your application and share what you've accomplished or plan to accomplish in terms of equity, diversity, inclusion in your career path and plans, and in any aspects of your project that this might have implications for. You can head over to the MIRA website to find our calls online. I'd especially like to highlight that we have a section for external aging related funding opportunities, which we update on a regular basis. On behalf of the MIRA team, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and I'm happy to take questions. You can raise your hand or drop them in the chat box, and you can also email us at mirafund@mcmaster.ca.
Jazine, there's a question from Diego Roger Silva in the chat. You want to take that, or do you want me to?
I can take it. So the question is, I am a MIRA postdoctoral fellow and will complete this fellowship on December 25th. This is my second year. Is there any possibility of applying for one more postdoctoral fellow position? So generally, we don't fund postdocs twice in a row, but you could apply for the MIRA AgeWell co-funded postdoctoral fellowship if your project is going to be significantly different from the one that MIRA has previously funded. Did I miss anything there, Audrey?
No, I don't think so. The other thing, Diego, or if there are any other previously funded postdocs or scholarship recipients on the call who are looking for further funding, if you can give us, Jazine and I, any idea of what you're looking for, when you'll need new funding, and what the next project might look like, we can send sort of target external calls to you, and we're always happy to do that and help you sort of leverage the funding that you've received through MIRA.
Also make sure that you look all the way through the MIRA bulletin every month on the trainee bulletin. We do add in aging related postdocs that we come across. I see a question from Paolo. What is expected as the role of interdisciplinary team? Audrey, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So it depends a lot, I think, on the discipline and the type of project, but essentially we want our fellows or our grad students to get a really robust experience while they're here at MAC and benefit from input from faculty members who are outside of their discipline. And so we often see some of the best applications will have a really detailed plan for how either if it's a grad student, they're one co-supervisor from another faculty, or if it's a postdoc, it's two mentors from two different faculties, but how they're going to work together and what the work plan is. So that can include plans for meetings or one-on-one mentoring with these additional folks. It can also include specifically how those mentors or supervisors they've chosen will contribute to the project. What piece that they're contributing is really important to helping that project be successful. And sometimes that it can even include working with another group. So if that co-supervisor or mentor has a lab group that's really different from where you're working, are you going to bring your skills to their group, and are you going to learn something while you're there working with their group of colleagues? Does that answer the question? Do you want to add anything to that, Jazine?
In the past, it's been really helpful in the letters of support, where if you expand on how you would like to be working together as an interdisciplinary group, and on things you've worked together in the past and how you imagine it going in the future. I know that there's not a lot of room in the application, but you could take the liberty of giving us more information in the letters of support. I see a question from Emmy asking if we fund PhD thesis projects. Yes, we do. If you are entering your first or second year of a PhD at McMaster, you can apply to the AgeWell MIRA co-funded award or to the MIRA graduate scholarships. Oh, and Audrey has dropped in the chat that the deadline for the EPIC AT is just announced, and it will be May 12th, 2023.
Stu, what do you want to link to the EPIC AT?
Yes, please. Justine, I have just a quick question about the postdoc awards, whether they're targeted at incoming, or can existing postdoc fellows apply for them, or is there preference for one over the other?
I don't think that there's a preference. If they haven't been funded by MIRA yet, then please have them go ahead and apply. I know that McMaster has a limit on how many years from when they completed their PhD they can still be applying as a postdoc, but I think that the university would flag that. But we do make accommodations for maternity leave or other personal absences, etc. Is there a way to find out how a previous AgeWell application ranked for future reapplications? I think that you would have to reach out to AgeWell to get that information. We would not be able to share that. And in fact, I don't think we're privy to that information. Emmy asks, I'm an international student and my project targets my home country elderly people. Will I still be eligible? I think as long as you're at McMaster University, a registered student here, then you would be eligible. And Emmy, if you have more questions, you can reach out to us via email, and we're happy to jump on a Zoom call with you and discuss your application. There are no other questions. I want to say thank you for taking the time to participate in the Zoom call. Please feel free to forward our funding emails to people outside the university. We're happy to bring in fresh perspectives into MIRA and into aging research. Thank you.